Friday Foodies, our Friday segment where we talk with our local restaurateurs and chefs about their locations, their signature dishes, their history here in Columbia. And I'm really excited to have Jeremy Brown from Addison's and Sophia's in.
Hello, good morning.
Jeremy, it's great to have you here. And I obviously, we are focusing with this segment on our local restaurateurs. Clearly, Addison's and Sophia's were top of the list when we started doing this, and I'm just thrilled to have you in here. When did it all start for you in the restaurant business in Columbia, Jeremy?
Well, for me in Columbia, it started actually at Columbia Country Club, just actually across the street here.
Yeah.
I started as a dishwasher when I was 15.
Really?
And worked my first shift, and it was too much. It was too much for me. I woke up the next morning literally sick and couldn't go in for another shift. And they said, just give it a little, come back in. It'll be easier your next shift and so forth. And the next thing you know, it's fine. I'm, washing dishes. And apparently, according to my managers that worked there, they said that I had said that I was always going to open up a restaurant someday when I was older.
Okay.
Now, I don't.
You
remember
don't remember that.
I don't remember saying
from your
that.
Dishwasher days.
If I knew now what I know, I
knew then,
or if I knew then what I know now, I'd never open up a restaurant. I'm kidding.
So when was the first conversations started about opening up Addison's? And
I'd say so. There was a group of four of us at the beginning. We all worked together at Flat Branch. I'd known a couple of the guys beforehand, and three of the partners. There were four of us together. Three of the partners had lived together, and two of them had left town. And one of my partners, Adam Dushoff, we were just talking, one night over beers or whatever, and I said something about opening. I'd always thought about opening up a restaurant or whatever at the time, and he said, "Well, that's interesting because Brad and Matt also had talked about that when we lived together." And I said, "How serious is everybody?" This was probably in like 97, I want to say.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, how serious was everybody?" And he goes, "I don't know. Let's get everybody on the phone." So we just started chatting, over the phone, came up with some ideas, decided we were serious enough to meet. So we met again and threw out some more ideas. Next thing you know, Adam and myself started canvassing the town for a location and money and putting together a business plan. And then, so we opened in 99.
Okay.
Downtown.
That was a downtown location. And then the south location of Addison's came later. That was just 4 or 5 years ago, yes?
Yeah, at the end of 2018.
Okay. So.
And Sophia's came in 2001.
Okay.
So it was 2 years for the second restaurant and then a big gap.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about with Sophia's, by the way. We are going to get to, I'm going to ask you some questions about Sophia's because obviously a lot going on in the development of that. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but I'm kind of sticking on Addison's right now. The Queen and I were there last night downtown.
Thank you.
And, she got your strip steak. I assume it's the Jeremy strip steak. That's
you. Me. That's the actual Jeremy. I'm the Jeremy.
You're the one.
The other thing is I've noticed that a lot of our local restaurants have dishes that are named after people.
Yeah, that's true.
So what we do a lot on the menu is, I've had various chefs come through the kitchen and so forth, even cooks and so forth. And if they come up with a great dish, it may end up on the menu. We certainly can run it as a special. And if it ends up on the menu, I usually like to put their name on it. If it makes sense to put their name on it, type kind of thing. Some things don't flow off the.
Is that where the nachos Bianca came from?
So that was mostly. So when we first opened up Addison's, Brad Pippin and myself were the guys that kind of came up with the menu, and that's the nachos is mostly Brad with a collaboration from me, and that's our signature item. That's what we sell the most.
Really?
Yeah.
And in our various different forms, we have different ways you can order the nachos, and then the pulled pork nachos came later. But yeah, we sell a ton.
You seem to see that on just about every table. When you go into Addison's, everybody loves, I had the seared ahi tuna last night, which I hadn't had in a while. I had it a while ago, but I've been on the jalapeno smothered pork chop, and that's delicious, by the way. Whoever does that, money. But I decided to go with the ahi tuna last night. The ginger and that jasmine rice was on. Oh, that was so good. But yeah, the wife had the strip. That's her favorite. What's the future of Addison's? Is there going to be? We've got 2 locations. Is there going to be more? Is that good for you? What's the thought?
I would say this. We're probably done opening up restaurants. I never say never, but we're all getting a little older.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
No, you could do it again.
And we might want to relax someday. So,
okay. All right. Of course, you guys have a great back bar too, and your bar downtown is well frequented by people. Is there any kind of specialty things that, especially cocktails that you guys serve it?
So we have got a number of specialty cocktails, different martinis and so forth. But something that's come along in the past year or two that we're super proud of is one of our beers, which is made by Logboat, and that's the Snowing in Space. And it's an IPA that I got lucky in the fact that I got to help develop it, but it's only exclusive to Addison's
only
and
available
Logboat,
there.
And that you can only get it there.
That's so cool.
And it's my favorite beer.
Hyper local.
But it should be my favorite beer because I basically designed
it. Yeah.
That's so
You
great.
picked out the flavors.
That's cool.
With a little help from Logboat, let's say.
You cannot go into Addison's without noticing the art. You guys have always been so great about that. Also, I'm going to also mention your playlist last night was right on the money. It was like I put it together. It was like BXR programmed the whole thing. But yeah, the art on the walls. Talk a little bit about the artists that have provided
the artist, David Spear, he was originally a bartender for us when we first opened up, right around just maybe within 6 months after opening. And he had done some artwork in another restaurant, I believe in St. Louis. And at the time, we had no artwork up on the walls. It was just, plain barren walls. And he approached us and said, hey, I'm an artist, and I can fill some of those blank spots on your walls there.
Boy, is he an artist, too.
Yeah. And
wow.
He drew up some charcoal pictures of what he had in mind, and we were just blown away.
Right.
And then when he did them in full size, full color, just amazing. That's one thing that has been constant through our entire history is to have his paintings up in our restaurants.
Yeah.
And it's been very good for both of us, I think. So.
Oh, yeah. Those paintings, those are originals on your walls, aren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're, for us, are probably priceless.
Priceless.
So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Incredible value. All right, we're talking with Jeremy Brown of Sophia's and Addison's, and we're going to take a quick break here. I got to get the forecast in. Can you stick around with us?
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about Sophia's in just a moment, the changes that are happening, new location, and try and get some of those questions answered for you in just a moment. It's Friday Foodies on 102.3 BXR. Here we go, Jeremy. I want to talk about Sophia's. Let's say, because you got a new location. It's been in process of moving now to what was the 44 Stone location, Correct. If you're familiar with that. Mm-hmm. And how's the move going?
It's actually going pretty smooth. We, in our construction endeavors, we usually fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. We do, obviously, with Addison South, we had, Coil Construction did that, and they are helping us out with the move, with the new restaurant. It's coming along. I'd say, cross my fingers. We'll get open here in the next week or two. But
wow.
I think definitely before the end of January, unless something horrible happens, which again,
the weather.
Knock on, Formica here or whatever. We make it.
Yeah, I can't imagine moving in the middle of some of these snowstorms that we've had.
Yeah, that one. We were trying to move some heavy equipment one day, and we'd have to pull the truck up to the front door one place and load it up, and then pull it as close as we could, just across the park. Normally we were just walking across, literally just across the back. We're only 100 yards away. Yeah. But with the snow, we just couldn't walk across and carry large equipment like that across the way. So.
Oh, my goodness. Let's talk a little bit about Sophia's. Are there going to be any changes to the menu at the new locations?
One of the major changes that we're going to bring back is during COVID, we had to slim down to just one menu that was available, lunch and dinner. We're going to bring back a separate lunch menu and a separate dinner menu. We're going to have the ability to bring back some older items that used to be on the menu. We just had, when we trimmed it down, we had to trim it down. We're bringing back some of those items. I'll kind of keep those.
Keep those in your pocket.
I can't really say exactly what they are yet because we're still kind of putting things on, pulling things off, still working out the details on that. We will have some new items that are going to be on the menu, but we will be bringing back some old favorites that I know people have requested.
What would you think does Sophia's have a signature dish Kind of like, it seems like Addison's, you say Addison's, people say Nachos Bianca, they just know that. But is there something in Sophia's that you think is, I mean, it's all good, but I can't think of anything that really stands out as like, this is the one item you can't miss. I love your soups over there all the time.
You know, we don't really have a signature dish per se. You know, over the years, there have been different dishes that have been, you know, the most popular dishes. So right now, I mean, the horseradish salmon, the chicken bodega.
Yes. Right.
I mean,
Oh, goodness.
those things just, you know, they sell well, and they're tasty. They're good. They sell well for a reason. They taste good. So.
Do you have a favorite from Sophia's? Maybe?
You know, if I would say at Sophia's, my favorite thing is actually probably one of the appetizers, and that's the shrimp and burritos. That's probably my favorite. And at Addison's, it's the burger, oddly enough. So.
Really?
I mean, I've
burger
got
is so
a
good.
wide range of things that I like. You know, I like super ultra unique food items that cost a lot of money, but then, you know, you'll see me at Taco Bell too. So
I should show you the list of stuffed crust pizzas that Pizza Hut makes across the globe.
Well, again, I love the names of some of the dishes on our local restaurant. Like the burger that you ordered, is like the Happy Fun Time burger.
Super Deluxe Happy Fun Time.
There we
burger.
go.
So that one actually won a cheeseburger contest. I got to go to Wisconsin for 4 days and,
Wow.
and eat cheese.
Okay.
It was by the Wisconsin Dairy Board, you know, and so forth. But that name came from a Simpsons episode. So
Yeah.
We have never taken ourselves too seriously. We might come off that way as some pretty serious guys. We're just not. We like goofing around a little bit here and there. So.
You're good community people, and I'll tell you what, we appreciate a lot of things that you do for the community outside of your restaurant.
Well,
so,
we sure do appreciate.
Not everything
this
that you guys
too.
do is to make money, and I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. No
That's
problem.
great. Let's talk a little bit about some of your longtime employees. You got any names you want to shout out to? Anybody that you can say, man, they've helped us out? Or do you not want to like singles one person out?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm everybody would be 100% comfortable with that. But I got to tell you though, we do have a good crew. When we first started, we were a lot closer with our crew, you know, because we were 4 young single guys, and you know had all the time in the world other than, you know, being at the restaurant. But we've got employees, though. I've got employees that have been with me now for 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's...
Wow.
My 2 kitchen managers at Sophia's, they've basically been with me 20 years. And that's unheard of.
Can't pay for heritage, can you?
No. And they're having a good time with the move. They're excited about the new kitchen. They're excited about the new restaurant. But... You know, they've been working for me 20 years, and they don't like a lot of change. So this is very stressful.
It's also difficult.
It's very stressful for them because they know a lot of changes are coming and so forth. So but they're good guys, and they're gonna love the new location. So.
All right, we're talking with Jeremy Brown of Addison's and Sophia's in Columbia, our Friday Foodies segment. All right, Jeremy, it's come to that time of the interview where I got to ask you, name somebody else out there, some other local restaurateur here that you think, and I respect them. They're doing a good job out there.
You know, all of the local people, for the most part in this town, are doing a good job. Unfortunately, I don't get a chance to go out and eat as much as I'd like to. But if I was to just right off the top of my head, I'd say Pizza Tree is...
John?
Yep. John, he used to work for us in our kitchen way
Really?
back in the day. We probably can say that about a lot of places where, they came through Addison's at some point or another, you know, or Sophia's.
He and Amanda are putting together a whole empire there on 9th Street, aren't they? You know, like a main squeeze and Goldie's.
Yeah. So, and we've hooked up a couple times with different special items and so forth, and we help each other out that way too. But Pizza Tree probably be at the top of my list of one of my favorite places, one of my favorite local places too.
Fantastic. Well, Addison's and Sophia's are some of our favorite local places. So,
Thank you.
Jeremy, we appreciate you coming in.
Hey, no problem.
Talking about it with us this morning.
I'll be off to do construction here as I walk out the door. So.
All right.